Okay, we have an example here on cumulative frequency table. And the question says the following are the weights of 40 men randomly picked in a village using the class intervals of 27 to 30, 31 to 40 to 32, 35 to 38. Construct a table rather showing the following columns: class interval, class boundaries, class mark, tally, frequency, cumulative frequency in that order. In this question, the class interval is already given to us. We don't need to figure it out like we were doing in the previous example. So the interval is already given. Our goal, our task now rather, is to put in the values right away. So the first thing we have here will be class interval. And the next one, because they say in that order, the next thing is class boundary. Class boundary. The next thing is class marks. The next is tally. And frequency and cumulative frequency. Let me call it CF. Okay, so let's put in the class intervals. Have interval of 27 to 30, 27 to 30, then 31 to 34, 35 to 38. You can see there's dot, 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 meaning the interval continues. So, excuse me, we're going to prepare the interval until we get to the highest value here. I think the highest number here is 95. Let's go through it. And 95. So we must do this interval until we get to 95. By the way, how many entries do we have in each interval? 27 to 30, that is 4 entries. 27, we can have to get it. Have 27, 28, 29, and 30. That is 4 entry. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I stopped at 38 here. The next interval should be 39 to 39, 40, 41, 42, 42. The next interval should be 42 to 42, 43, 44, 45 to 45. The next should be 46. Oh, no, please, a mistake here. I stop at 42 here, meaning this should be 43 to 46. The next should be 47 to 47, 48, 49, 50 to 50. The next should be 51, 52, 53, 54. The next should be 55, 56, 57, 58. Next should be 59, 60, 61, 63, 62. Allow 63 to 66. Have 67 to 8 to 70. Have 71 to 74. Table is quite much. 75 to and we have 79 to 82. We have 83 to 86. And we have 87 to 90. Then 91 to 94. 95 to 98. The highest data there is 95. So this should be the last interval. We'll go and then put in the data that fall into each of the interval. So before that, we have class boundary here. Now, how do we get the class boundary? Recall that we said that let's assume this data is continuous such that you have something like fractions. So any data within the range of 26.5 fall into 27 to 30, and data also within the range of 30.5 fall into this interval. So the lowest class boundary here will be 26.5, and the upper class boundary will be 30.5. So the idea is to decrease this number by 1 and then put 0.5. That is the easiest way to do it, to get the lower class boundary. But for the upper class boundary, just put 0.5 after the upper class limit. That will give you the upper class boundary. So the next one here will be 30. To decrease it by 1, then put 0.5. 0.5 to 34.5. Again, we decrease this by 1, which will be 34.5 to 38.5. 38.5 to 42.5. Another way to look at it is the upper class boundary here form the lower class boundary for the next interval. So you can do that. Just pick it instead of trying to crack your brain. So here now, my lower class boundary here will be the upper class boundary in this interval here, which is 42.5, then to 46. This is 46. Let me write it down. 46.5 and 46.5. Need to write this. 46.5 to 50.5, 50.5 to 54.5, and 54.5 to 58.5, 58.5 to 62.5, 62.5 to 66.5, and 66.5 to 70.5, 70.5 to 74.5, 74.5, 78.5, 78.5 to 82.5, 82.5 to 86.5, 86.5 to 90.5, 90.5, 94.5, 94.5 to 98.5. So this gives us the class boundary. The next column is class mark. How do we get class mark? To get the class mark, you add the lower class limit and the upper class limit, then divide the result by 2. What do I mean? The lower class limit of this interval is 27. The upper class limit is 30. So we add 27 to 30, divide the result by 2. That will give us a class mark for that interval. 27 plus 30 divided by 2 give us 28.5. If you have your calculator with you, you can confirm it by yourself. 28.5. Then 31 plus 34 divided by 2 give us 32.5. 35 plus 38 divided by 2 will give us 36.5. 39 plus 42 divided by 2 will give us 40.5. And 43 plus 46 divided by 2 is 44.5. Again, what we are doing is we add the lower class limit to the upper class limit, then divide the result by 2. 47 plus 50 divided by 2 is 48.5. Then, where are we? 51 plus 54 divided by 2 is 52.5. Can even use I to gauge the next one. If you look at what is happening here, the difference between this number is 4. Let's start from the beginning. The difference between 8 and 32 is 4. Difference between 32 and 36 is 4. Difference between 36 and 40 is 4. So instead of continue to do calculation, add this to this, divide by 2, just add 4 to this to get the next one. So 4 plus 52, that is 56. Then 0.5 there, 0.5. Add 4 there, we get 60.5. Add 4, we get 64.5. So the number is increasing by 4. The next one, which is here, will be 68.5. The next one will be 2.5. The next one will be 76.5. The next one will be 80.5. 84.5. 88.5. 92.5. and 96.5 as the last class mark. And the next thing is tally. To get the tally, we need to go and count the number of data that fall into each interval. So for 27 to 30, how many data do we have in that interval? 27 to 30. 27 to 30. Does it mean there's nothing there? Okay, there's one there. 29 is right here. So the tally 1, then the frequency 1. The cumulative is also 1. And the next interval is 31 to 34. 31 to 34, 1, 2, only 2. So the tally, we put 2 strokes. Frequency is 2. To get the cumulative, we add this to this, which is 3. And the next interval is 35 to 38. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Tally 1, 2, 3, 4. Frequency is 4. The cumulative we add before to this 3, which is 7. Then the next interval is, this is the one we just did, 39 to 42. 1, only 1. 1, this is a stroke, not 1. Then 1. 1 plus 7 is 8. The cumulative is 8. And the next interval, I think I'll be marking them so that I'll don't. The next one to do now is 43 to 46. 1, 2, 3, only 3. So put 3 strokes there. 1, 2, 3. Frequency is 3. The cumulative, we add this 3 to 8, which is 11. Then the next interval is 47 to 50. Nothing is there, 0. 47 to 50 is 0. So under tally, we leave it blank. Then under frequency, we write 0 there. And 0 plus 11 still remain as 11. As for the cumulative frequency. The next interval is 51 to 54. 1, only 1. 51 to 54 is 1. We put a stroke there. Then the frequency is 1. 1 plus 11 is 12. The next interval is 55 to 58. 1, 2, only 2. So we'll put 2 strokes on that tally, and frequency is 2. 2 plus 12 is 14, the cumulative. And we go to 59 to 62. 1, 2, 3, only 3. We'll put 3 strokes for the tally. 1, 2, 3. The frequency is 3. The cumulative is 3 plus 14, which is 17. Here, the next interval is 63 to 66. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there are 5 there. 5. So on that tally, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 for the frequency. The cumulative, we add this 5 to 17, which is 22. Then the next interval is 67 to 70. 1, only 1. Put 1 stroke there. Then the frequency is 1. The cumulative, we add this 1 to 22, which is 23. The next interval will be 71 to 74. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, only 4 of them. Oh, there's 1 here. See, we have 5. Let's need to cross check. We have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The frequency is 5. The cumulative, we add the 5 to this 23, which is 28. The next interval is 75 to 78. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the tally. Frequency is 4. 4 plus 28 is 32. The next interval is 79 to 82. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4. 4 plus 32 is 36. The next interval is 83 to 86. 1 and 2. 1, 2. 2 plus 36 is 38. Then 87 to 90. Next interval. And there is nothing there, 0. So on that tally, we leave it blank. On that frequency, we put a 0. 0 plus 38 is still 38. The next interval is 1 to 90. I don't know what I just did. 57 to 90. No, that's not what I did. So 87 to 90 is what we want to do. 87 to 90. 87 to 90. Everything there is gone. 87 to 90 is also 0. We leave the tally blank. Then we put 0 here. 0 plus 38 is 38. Then 91 to 94, then that should be 0 too. Do we have anything on that? 91 to 94. 0 also. We leave the tally blank. It's like I repeated this twice. This is for this. And this is for these. Okay. So we are in the final interval now, which is 95 to 98. 95 to 98 is 1 and 2. We have only 2 there. 1, 2 for the tally, and 2 for the frequency. 2 plus 38 is 40. Okay, so our cumulative, the final one is 40. Does he agree with what we have, the entries? Yes, they say 40 men. So the following are the weight of 40 men. So having 40 as the final number in our cumulative frequency shows that this table is correct.